Hello and welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to be looking at the Sonberg Thermo Box 5.1. I've realised while editing this video that it is quite long, so I'll split it up into 6 sections and I'll put the time codes in the description below. This is a one-man water heater for water-fed pole window cleaning. In the video I'm going to go over the heater itself, what it's capable of doing, how you install it, and how much it costs to run, and just all the general information, and answer any questions that people have been asking about it. So just before I carry on with the video, I would like to say, if at any stage you are interested in buying one of these, if you'd go through my link, which I'll put in the description below the video, that would really help me, because I do get a commission each time we sell one of these. So I've had this unit now for a few months, and I didn't want to do a review straight away because I've had it on long-term loan. I don't actually own this, but I've had it on long-term loan because I wanted to really test it before I put my name to it and said what I thought of it. Saying that, my brother's owned one for over a year and he's super happy with his. You might have seen this at the cleaning show, at the cleaning expo, back a couple of months ago. I had it on display in the back of the van and a lot of people were really interested in it. So I wanted to use it a little bit longer before I actually showed you exactly what it was. To start off with, if we open it up, you can see it's a really nice compact unit. It is powered by a Webasto 5 kilowatt heater. The pump and one or two other bits in there are Webasto as well. So at the top here, you've got a diesel tank. So that's a self-contained diesel tank, 5 litre diesel tank, or 5.5 litre possibly diesel tank. That is plenty. That should keep you probably going for a couple of days. Below that here then is the coolant, and then you've got the brains here. In behind the brains you've got the pump, and in behind here you have your heat exchanger. At the bottom here we have a little dial which you can use to change the heat of it. Now, the way these work, it turns on and glow plugs heat the coolant, and that is put into the heat exchanger. When the water is pumped from your window cleaning tank, so you just pump it through using your normal water-fed pole system. So there's nothing there, there's no stopping it or anything. So if you turn your water off, it doesn't bother it at all. It's all controlled by your pump going on and off. So when you turn your water on, it comes in through this top hose here, and it goes down to the heat exchanger. That then takes the heat out of the coolant, comes back out and straight to your reel. When you start this up in the morning, what it does, it just takes a few minutes to heat the coolant up. Probably, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes to get the coolant hot. So what I normally do is I turn it on before I leave home, just as I'm on my way out to my first job, and that heats it up quite quickly then. Normally it's hot by the time I get to my first job. The thing that a lot of people don't realise is the amount of time that it takes for hot water to come through hose. So I've got 100 metres of hose on there, and it does take quite a long time for the hot water to come through that. On the side here you've got your fan, and you've got your on-off switch. It's ever so simple to use. You've got one on-off switch, turn it on and it all starts up working and running. The only thing that it doesn't come with, that you might have spotted in the video, is the thermometer here. I fitted that. On the side here you've also got a voltmeter, so that tells you the condition of your battery. So what you got here is a little temperature gauge. Now that is the temperature inside the housing of the heater. So if the temperature in your van drops overnight, there's a probe that you can put anywhere inside here. If it drops below a certain temperature, it turns on the thermostat and it just heats the inside of the box, and that stops anything from freezing and cracking when you get cold weather. And this groove here has been cut so you can see the level of your diesel in the tank. I haven't got a tape measure with me, but I will put on the screen the size of this, because it is a really nice compact unit. So it's advertised at running up to 60 degrees, and it takes about 5 minutes to reach its top temperature. The hottest I got it to run at is actually 55 degrees, and it is pretty consistent then. Obviously, if you're putting a hose pipe through this, you're not going to get it at the top temperature all the time. The higher the flow it is, the more the temperature will drop down. So when you buy this, you get a few bits with it. You get a bottle of the coolant, which you mix 1-to-1 with water and put it into this tank here. You also get, I haven't actually picked it up here, but you get a little plastic 90-degree bend. That, when you unscrew the coolant knob, the coolant stopper there, the 90-degree bend goes into that, and it makes it easier for pouring your coolant in. You fill your coolant up to the bottom of the stopper, and that's the level you need it there. It also comes with a couple of hose lock fittings. So the in and the out are 1/2-inch fittings. So you've got your hose lock tap fittings there. It's really easy just to use some good quality hose lock fittings, and it just snaps straight on really quick. You get a pack of mounting brackets, so they can either be mounted against a back wall, I've got it against a piece of board here, or you can mount it directly to the floor. You also get in here everything you need for setting it up to your diesel tank. Now, that's not something I'd fancy doing myself, but you could easily take that along to your mechanic and he would set that up. It also comes with a length of hose and a silencer on for the hose as well, for the exhaust hose. It also comes with a key, so you can lock your door shut. So setting this up is really, really simple. All you have to do is decide the position that you're going to have it in. With it, you get a good length of cable, and that comes in the conduit ready, and inside that there is just a black and a red cable. That goes directly to your battery. Obviously the red on the positive, the black on the negative. So that's your power. That's as hard as it is to set up the power. Your hoses, I've already said, you just can click on with your hose lock style fittings. Now the hardest part of it is your exhaust. So what you have to do with the exhaust is drill a hole through the base of your van and then just drop it out the bottom of that. Now there's two positions it can come out. It can either come out of the side of the heater, or it can come directly out the bottom. So when you're setting this up, make sure that where you're going to drill it, you haven't got anything underneath it. You don't want to be having your spare tyre directly underneath it with this blowing onto it, because the exhaust does get hot. So be careful, set it up somewhere where you're not going to be touching it. It's not going to be affecting anything because it can burn you. You don't want it setting your van on fire. So just be careful where you have your exhaust coming through. But that is the hardest part of setting it up. It really is that easy. A hole for your exhaust, battery onto positive and negative, and then your hoses, and that is it. You're all ready to go. All you have to do then is, as I said, fill your coolant up 50-50 and put your diesel in. How much does it cost to run this? As I said, a full tank is I think 5.5 litres, and that will run for about 2 days, depending on how much work you do. I had it going on a school recently where I was there all day and it was running constantly all day, and it might have used just over half a tank. So it is really economical, probably cost you about £5 a day to run. Would I spend my money on the Thermo box? Well, definitely yes. It is £1,650, and that includes delivery and VAT, and that is less than half of some of its main competitors. So you're thinking, well, shall I get it closer to winter when I need it? Well, you can use hot water all year round, especially if you're doing gutters and fascias. It's definitely worth using it for that, because as I said, the hot water just melts algae away. But you don't just clean your dishes with hot water in the winter, you clean them with hot water all year round. If you wait for winter, you could decide you're going to have one, but everybody's going to try and get one then, aren't they? So you might end up having to wait 2 or 3 months to get it. Get it now, splash out on it. It's the busy season. I'm sure everybody's getting loads of work coming in. I know I am. So while you've got the money, get it, and this will save you money over winter. This actually makes you money because during the winter you don't lose any time to cold weather. There's so many people I see on Facebook, oh, temperatures dropped, couldn't get started until 10 o'clock, it was too cold. You've got no problem with this at all. So I've just turned that on now and I've got that flowing, going through a DA Components 9-inch brush with the 2 V-jets on it. I've just put that on to see how long it takes to heat up. So I've taken all the heat out of the coolant by running it through cold first, and we'll see how long that takes to run through until it's getting warm. And that was with my flow rate and my controller at 40. So that has topped out at about 54 degrees, and that is been running for 4 minutes. It is just starting to get warm coming through here. You've got to remember it's all that time heating the water up and then pushing it all the way through this hose. So you're looking at a good 5 minutes for your hot water to come through your hose, and it does take time to heat up all the bulk of your hose reel as well. So what I'll do now is I will put on a wider brush and I'll turn my controller up to 80 and see if that actually makes much of a difference to the temperature. So I've put the DA Components Heritage brush on now. I've put the 14-inch brush on. So you've got the 4 V-jets on this, so you get a lot more water come through. So we'll let that run for 5 minutes and see, and I've turned the controller back up to 80. So we'll let that run for 5 minutes and see how much difference that makes to the thermometer, to the temperature, see if it goes down because we've got a higher flow going through. So it's been running now on 80 for about 5 minutes. So if it was going to take the heat out of it, it would have. And we can see that it's only dropped to about 53 degrees. So it's only lost 1 degree by turning the flow up, having a much higher flow and a bigger brush. So it should be pretty good for all your needs really. Got the controller on 80, it's going through 100 meters of 6mm hose. So it is pretty good at that. And that is hot now, that's coming through hot. You couldn't keep your hand under there. People say to me, does it actually make any difference using hot water? Well, what I always say to people is yes, when you do your washing up, do you wash it in cold water or hot water? And if you say hot water, why? And it's because it washes much, much better. And it's exactly the same with window cleaning. It washes the windows so much quicker, gets a lot more dirt out, especially from around the frames. It just melts away algae. If you've got a bit of PVC to clean on it, if you're doing PVC gutters, fascia, soffits, works really well with them. One of the questions people always ask me about using hot water in the winter is it likely to crack the glass? Now, I've been using hot water, as I said, probably about 7 years now, and I've never had a problem. I should imagine if you've got a fault with the glass already, then it could be a problem, but it's something that I've never had a problem with. Are there any downsides to the Sonberg therm box? Well, you have to make sure you keep your batteries in good condition. You will need to charge your batteries regularly, if not every day. I think it's worth just putting them on charge each night when you fill up with water. And then that way, you know, you've always got good condition on your batteries, because it will hammer your battery with it running all day. If you haven't got anywhere off-road that you can park, where you can plug a charger in overnight, what I recommend doing is having your battery with a couple of quick release terminals, and you'll be able to unhook those, bring the battery in at night, charge it and stick it back in the morning. Really simple if you haven't got off-road parking, and you've got a self-sufficient system there that works really, really well. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it useful. I hope it's maybe helped you a bit. If you are thinking about getting one, if you could use the link, please, because that really does help. I do get a small commission for each one of these that I sell through my link. So make sure you definitely click on the link that's in the description below to buy your water heater. As I said, get them now while the weather's good, while you're making lots of money, because it might take you a while to get one in the winter when everybody wants one. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.